misunderstood word and a word that probably angers many and also used many times to criticize many a woman. One of the best definitions I have found in feminism is a collection of movements aimed at defining, establishing and defending equal, the word equal is very important here, equal political, economic and social rights and equal opportunities for women. Equal pay for equal work and equal opportunity is still work in progress. Women are not 100% equal in these regards, but the glass ceiling is very high and very thin. Equal social treatment has still a long way to go world over, and more so in many developing countries like Africa, India, Pakistan and Korea, as well as China. Why does a person who fights for the rights of a woman called a feminist, and that's something which I have quite not understood? Isn't live and let live a basic right for any human being? And that means knowing oneself and giving yourself and the other a sense of self-worth, relevance and abundance of love. Be a human and support and fight for anyone who's denied this basic right. And that to me is the purpose for each of us. Sadly, and especially true in many developing countries, women are the rejected lot and denied this basic right to live. In countries like India and Pakistan, the obsession with power leads to many disgusting and violent crimes, which includes mental and physical abuse, especially against women. In many of these countries, the increasing abuse of women goes to show how perverse the notion of manhood is, how insecure and weakened the man feels that an average bloke seeks to prove his manhood by attacking helpless women. Some of these countries use religion as a cheap means to disempower women and lay restrictions on what work they can take up, what time they should return home, and also dictate the dress code. Women are constantly harassed, intimidated, stalked in the virtual as well as real world. Countries like India, China take the lead on something called female feticide. Once the sex of the child is determined to be a girl. While it's imperative that the violence against women, which includes female genital mutilation, dowry deaths, acid burning, bride burning, and any form of mental and physical torture, as well as emotional torture, should be stopped, feminism is no way means a disrespect to men. Please remember that men's cooperation is required to put an end to the abuse of women in different parts of the world. We cannot do this alone. However, sadly, many women disregard this and make the whole effort to stop abuse against women a failed task even before it starts. Let me give you an example. I was surprised at the recent reaction from media and from the so-called women activists who fight for violence against women to the birth of a girl child by Aishwarya Rai, a la Bollywood fame. First of all, there was a huge debate on whether she would be having a girl child or a boy child. Tell me, who has given human beings this right to dictate the birth process? Birth of a boy or a girl is a natural process and one that should definitely not be intervened with by manipulative means. Some of the women's rights ambassadors went to the extent of calling Ash or Aishwarya Rai the ambassador of a girl child, which I thought was shocking. She has done no one a favor by giving birth to a girl child. Why don't we just accept that the sex of a child is a natural process and we should just let it be that way? Why have a gender bias towards each roles? And why should media in print and TV further enhance this by airing the useless commercials and soap operas? Not only certain roles are chalked out at an impressionable stage with certain characteristics, behavior patterns as well as emotive responses are expected from each gender, and in many of the developing countries and the so-called conservative countries, conservative conveniently, a strong disapproval is often displayed if shown otherwise. Yes, each gender has its unique traits, and that is natural, but the rest, I believe, is induced and passed based on myths. In Asia, what reflects in our society is typically a result of a patriarchal setup, and the norm is to use religion to enforce and promote gender-based oppression. So bottom line, what are we trying to say here? To conclude, each human being, be it a man or woman, should have the basic right to live, to have the choice to pick whatever field they want, they think they are skilled at, what they think they would love to do, or what they are passionate about. Why be told, don't do this or don't do that, don't choose this? No, this is not meant for you. Your gender doesn't do that. Men and women should have equally a choice to pick up the family structure they want, without men being pressured to be the provider or the women pressured to be the caretaker. We need to see both men and women run for political office without the man's sex life being scrutinized and the women's clothing, looks and children being discussed instead of their political views. In these aspects, both men and women need to grow up and approach these issues objectively. Creating a society like this depends on each of us, you, me, and the rest of us. And if we set our minds on making a society that treats every human being the same, we can achieve it. And then there will not be any arguments and discussions of women's liberalization and feminism. Thank you.